toxic, demonic ego, whatever you want to put it. But I'm like, in real life, black women aren't coming up to y'all being like y'all bullet bags, but you're experiencing disrespect though.
Shay,
So
let me ask you a question. Do you think it's love if because white men don't want black women, right? There's a lot of literature to prove that.
yeah,
Do you think it's love that black women went all out of their way to find white men failed and then turned around and say they love black men now? Do you think that's love?
when you say, so, help me understand, are you talking about with respect to like you
Okay,
talking
so you got a lot of divestors, a lot of women that if you search their Twitter timeline, they were sweating white men. They really wanted white men.
yeah,
Then they went out there and found out these white men don't want them back. Probably pump and dumped her. And she said, "All right, they don't want me, so now I'm gonna go back to wanting and loving quote unquote black men." Do you consider that real love, or is that just like a treating black men as a constellation prize?
no, I mean we already know what time it is. Nobody wants to be second place or backup plan, including men. I mean, well, correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't want to speak on behalf, but that doesn't sound genuine to me. That doesn't sound legitimate. And I wouldn't encourage anybody to end up in that kind of situation at
I
all.
don't mind being second place. I think that each and every single woman that I've been with would rather be with Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan, and I don't care.
Okay, fair.
You
But
know,
I mean, that's not reality.
yeah. Well, I mean, neither is them getting with a white man, but there you go.
I don't look at it that way because it's your whole type. It's not
Right.
just a better, a movie star. It's them genetically, culturally considering white men better than you, and then just falling down and saying, "Oh, well, I'll accept you now." To me, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, well,
Well,
and that's not a person worth engaging with at all. Now, real quick, I do want to be mindful of the time. I think Big Kev just joined. That's going to be the last call that I take for today. I know we've been kind of talking all over, but Big Kev, if you wanted to hop in about the topic, we're obviously mentioning the reach back, and my initial question was, what would it take? What would a woman need to do to show that she's actually genuine? Or if anything else that they said resonates with you, you can hop in.
Well, I think in regards to like the genuineness, I think it's more so a matter of being true to one's intentions, because to me it's almost like this, right? It's not the women who basically lean into their hatred of so-called black men. It's not the women who actually genuinely do sincerely value and appreciate and want a healthy relationship with a so-called black man that's necessarily the problem. It's the people that try to pretend, or
Yeah, it's
like
the
the people
yeah,
who try to flip flop. There's a whole lot of fence travelers and flip floppers, and it's like, if you would just be honest with yourself, you would save yourself so much trouble. Like just
that's
stop
true.
lying to yourself.
That's true.
Number two, um, it's one of those things where, again, with this topic, it's like all we need to do, and I do have to agree with Edward Anderson, about this, when he basically says all you got to do to kill their whole argument is literally for more so-called black men, especially y'all, to just come out and say, you know what, you always talk about how white men are better. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. You know what? Go get a white man to marry you. In fact, start a whole hashtag like get a white man to do it. Like I think that's what a lot of these chicks don't want to happen, because the
Yeah,
more guys that start to say that, eventually, that's essentially so-called black men basically saying, you know what, put up or shut up. You're always talking trash about how you're such this great player. You know what, check ball. All right, cool. Show it on the court. Um, and then another thing too, it's like watching them scapegoat your average so-called black men for their failures. I'm sure you guys get this. If you guys watch the NFL, it's like listening to like a lot of like Browns fans try to like go into these like convoluted rabbit holes about how the Odell Beckham Jr. trade was bad, or how Baker Mayfield destroyed their team. We're gonna realize like no, they weren't the problem. You guys are just idiots. That's all. It's like you guys are just hopelessly dysfunctional and regressive, and that's why you keep losing. And you could kind of parallel that to a lot of this flagrant dysfunction and hate and stuff that you see being peddled by the so-called sisterhood. It's like, you know, it eventually most of us are going to have to accept the fact that, you know, so-called black men, for the most part, we're not responsible for a lot of so-called black women's failures and shortcomings as women. Like, we're just not. Because if we were, when we're not in the picture, their lives would get better, like across the board. But most times it doesn't. So what do you have to say to that, you know? Like, and it's like that consistently. Like, they keep saying, oh, okay, you know, oh, it's Jamal's fault that, you know, that you're fat, or you have, or that, you know, you destroyed your scalp, or that, you know,
It's not Jamal's fault.
other men don't want you. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, all we have to do, put it to the acid test. Let's take Jamal. Let's remove Jamal out of the picture.